Hey, I'm Trevor, and I love programming. I wanted to share my love with everyone, so I created this channel. So let's get into the lesson. Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to be going over how to get user input. So right now, from everything that I've went over, we only know how to really just write to the command line. So let's put, how are you feeling? But we have no way of being able to let the user talk back to it. So in Visual Studio, we have this method called Console.ReadLine that allows us to let the user input text. And if you run it, it says, how are you feeling? And notice that it's given us an option to type. So let's go ahead and put, I am feeling good. Hit enter. And it stops. It stops because we have no way of storing this variable or the input into a variable. If you hover over it, you'll see that console.readline is of type string. So what we can do is set a string equal to string, let's do feelings, equals console.readline. Now we have a way of storing the input to the variable feelings. But notice it's still going to do the same thing. If we run it, it's just going to stop. So what we need to do is print out our stored variable. So let's go ahead and print out feelings. And now let's run it. How are you feeling? Let's see. Let's do the same thing. I am feeling good. And hit enter, and it prints out what we just typed. So that's how you can do that. So now let's write a program that has a little more iteration of this. So that way you can kind of see how the program handles it multiple times. So let's start with the question, what did you eat for breakfast? So let's do a string, breakfast food equals console.readline. And I did breakfast food because I'm going to do another question that says, or that asks, what did you drink for breakfast? And we're going to do the same thing to do a string, and we're going to do breakfast drink equals console.readline. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for lunch and supper. So if you want to go ahead and do that yourself and fill it in, I'm going to cut back to when I have all the code. All right. Hopefully this is something you have. You might not have the comments like I do. I just did it so that way it looks a little more organized and you can see exactly what each of these are doing. So this is asking for the input for breakfast food. So it's asking for the input of our breakfast food from the console.readline. I'm doing the same thing for drink, and all three are the rest of these questions as well. But now all we've done is store the information. We have no way of printing it out. So I'm gonna cut here as well, and I want you guys to see if you know what we should do. A few hints. I'm gonna use string interpolation, and that's about all you need to know. String interpolation. You got this. All right, guys. Hopefully, this is something similar to what you have. It doesn't have to be exact, but I have our console.writeLine. I ate our breakfast food variable and drank our breakfast drink variable for breakfast. And I've done the same thing for lunch and supper. So if your code looks something similar like mine, it should be fine. Not all code is going to look the same. Not all code should look the same. Everyone writes differently or codes differently, but as long as you're following the same rules and it does the same thing, then you should be good. There are going to be some times where one way is better than the other way, but for now, being able to actually think and do it on your own is just a really good step in the right direction. So let's go ahead and run it. And let's see here. what did you eat for breakfast? Let's say I ate eggs and I drank, let's say, water. And then it's asking, what did we eat for lunch? Let's say I ate nothing. Let's say I skipped lunch, but I drank some lemonade. And then, what did you eat for supper? Let's say spaghetti. I love spaghetti, and hopefully I spelled that, but I probably butchered it. What did you drink for supper? Let's say some chocolate milk. And hit enter. And it takes everything we've written and from the variables and puts them into our sentences. So I ate eggs and drank water for breakfast. I ate nothing and drank lemonade for lunch. And I ate spaghetti and drank chocolate milk for supper. So guys, I hope this gave you a clearer or better understanding of how to get user input and how to store them into variables. If you found this video useful, like, comment, and subscribe. The notes for this video will be in the Google Docs below, as well as a Discord link for you to come join and ask questions and just stay up to date in the Discord. Social media below as well if you wish to stay up to date there. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.